Hi, I'm William,
Hi, I'm Kat.
and this is a dash of info.
Little things you want to know.
So, Kat, have you ever been pranked on April Fool's Day?
Sure, I have. And I've pulled some pranks too.
April Fool's Day on a dash of info.
It's been celebrated for centuries, and it has a mysterious origin. The origins may never be known, but we'll dive into some of the theories. How about that?
One such theory suggests it began with the Roman festival of Hilaria, where people wore costumes and masks to mock each other around the spring equinox.
Another theory ties it to the calendar change from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar, leading people to mistakenly calling April 1st the start of the new year, thus being dubbed April Fools. I kind of like that one better.
I don't
No?
know. I think mocking people around the spring equinox is pretty fun too.
Okay, yeah. Uh, well, we still got a few more to get into.
Right, right. The first written reference to an April Fool's Day prank appears in a 1561 poem by Flemish writer Edward de Dene, and in 1686, British antiquarian John Aubrey referred to it as Fool's Holy Day.
Okay, well, we could go with that too. Well, since we may never know exactly where and how April Fool's Day got its start,
We thought, why not just tell you about some pranks pulled over the years?
I thought that would be pretty good. Let's start with the Swiss spaghetti harvest in 1957. The BBC aired a segment on a supposed bumper spaghetti crop in Switzerland, showing footage of people harvesting spaghetti from trees. Many viewers were fooled and called in to ask how they could grow their own spaghetti trees. That that should have been, I mean, I don't know.
That's pretty funny.
That is hilarious. I mean, can you really grow spaghetti from trees though?
No, no, spaghetti is a pasta. I mean, if you count the flour that goes into pasta from the grain, it's kind of like a tree, right? I mean, it's still greenery at
Sure.
some point.
But you still get chocolate milk from brown cows.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Big Ben goes digital in 1980. The BBC World Service announced that London's iconic Big Ben clock tower would be converted to a digital display. This prank caused quite a stir, with many listeners expressing their outrage.
That that would be pretty messed up. Big Ben goes digital, like the biggest tourist attraction of all, you know?
Yeah,
Uh,
just a digital clock now.
no, we took out all the gears. All right. So Taco Liberty Bell, 1996. Taco Bell ran a full page ad in several major newspapers claiming they had purchased the Liberty Bell and renamed it the Taco Liberty Bell. The prank generated a lot of buzz and even a response from the White House press secretary.
Oh goodness. Do you remember that?
Ah, no, I don't. I actually looked up some videos of it. It was actually pretty funny.
uh,
I thought it, especially the White House secretary, press secretary. If you get time, you need to look that up. That is kind of funny.
I will have to check that out because that is priceless. Google's Mentalplex in 2000. Google announced a new technology called Mentalplex that could read users' mind to determine what they wanted to search for. Users were instructed to stare at an animated GIF and think about their search query.
Oh, I wonder how that went over. Yeah,
I
if you,
don't know. That's priceless too.
I wonder how many people are still staring at it.
Right,
All right,
right.
so the left-handed Whopper in 1998, and I do remember this one. So the left-handed Whopper in 1998, Burger King published an ad in the USA Today introducing a new left-handed Whopper designed for the 32 million left-handed Americans. The ad claimed that all the condiments were rotated 180 degrees for left-handed customers. Oh, I do remember that though. That was because my brother is left-handed, and that's the only reason why I remember that ad.
That's funny. I don't remember that ad. To be
Yeah,
fair, though, I was like 3, so. Flying penguins in 2008. The BBC released a video showing a colony of flying penguins as part of their natural history series. The video claimed that the penguins flew thousands of miles to the rainforests of South America to escape the harsh Antarctic winter.
the BBC was all on April
I
Fools,
was
weren't
gonna
they?
say the BBC seems to be pretty up there with April Fool's jokes.
Oh man. Google knows. In 2013, Google introduced a fictitious new service called Google Knows, which claimed to let users search for smells. They even provided a demo page where users could supposedly sniff various scents through their devices.
I do not remember that. That's
Uh,
funny though.
I don't remember that either, but that brings to mind, have you ever heard of smell-o-vision?
Mm, smell of it. Somehow I feel like I should know that.
It was like this movie theater where you could go in and smell the. All right, we'll do a dash of smell-o-vision.
Okay. All right.
I'll put it down on the list. Don't worry about it.
Sounds good. Netflix Screener in 2016, Netflix introduced a fake feature called Screener, which promised to help users choose what they want to watch by offering personalized movies and TV shows based on their emotional responses. It claimed to use facial recognition technology to determine if viewers were happy, sad, or bored.
How many people started looking for the camera?
Right, right. I don't really. 2016.
I don't remember that.
Mm-mm. No, and I definitely had. I'm pretty sure I had Netflix in 2016.
2016. Yeah, we had Netflix. We had Netflix, but I don't
Well,
remember that. But how
hmm.
would that even work? I mean, today, they use algorithms like on your Netflix account, like my wife's Netflix account shows
Right,
stuff that I would be interested in watching, but I would never know it was there because my Netflix account shows me something totally different.
right, right.
Okay. And sometimes the pranks can go too far. On April 1st, 1980, Boston television station WNAC TV aired a fake news bulletin at the end of the 6 o'clock news, claiming that Great Blue Hill in Milton, Massachusetts, was erupting. Hmm.
Well, the prank caused panic among some residents, leading them to flee their homes. The executive producer of the 6 o'clock news, Homer Silly, was fired by the station for his failure to exercise good news judgment and for violating the Federal Communications Commission's rules about showing stock footage without identifying it as such.
Yeah,
Oof.
I mean, I mean, if you go back to the BBC's jokes, they didn't cause panic.
No.
If anything, they were humorous.
Right. I mean,
That that
Big
is a
Ben going
bad
digital
joke.
is one thing, but saying that, this mountain's erupting and could cause it's like Pompeii, okay?
Yeah, like no.
Mm,
All
not
right.
not not a good idea.
Yeah, no, not a good idea. No, those are the worst pranks ever.
Hmm.
In 1992, two disc jockeys on radio station WNOR in Norfolk, Virginia, USA, falsely reported that there had been leaking methane, a potential explosion hazard, detected at Mount Trashmore Park, a park built atop a covered landfill in nearby Virginia Beach, scaring listeners.
The idea of April Fools is to be lighthearted and joking, not
Cause
panicking people
wide
into
hysteria?
thinking, yes, into thinking there's going to be some sort of mass destruction event. For April Fools in 2003, a clothing store employee in Columbus, Ohio, decided to call her boss and tell him that someone was robbing the store at gunpoint. Before she had time to call him back and confess to the prank, her boss had called the police. 4 patrol cars rolled up to the store. The employee was arrested for inducing panic.
Mm, again, yeah, that's not a good one to do. No, that's not a good one to do. Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, that's not a good one.
No,
Yeah.
no.
This is far from being a good April Fool's joke. On April 1st, 2002, a couple of Kansas City DJs announced a local water supply had been found to contain high levels of dihydrogen monoxide, DHMO, where the side effects included sweating, urination, and skin pruning.
I, you know, eh, come on.
Yeah, for real.
Hundreds of citizens flooded the water department and the police with distressed phone calls. Too bad dihydrogen monoxide is actually H2O, the chemical name for water. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good play on words. But when you have people that really don't understand the good play on words, like, I mean, even if you read it, it includes sweating, urination, and skin pruning. I mean, drinking water does that to you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll be that water does cause those things. Maybe inducing panic with the scientific name of things for those who don't know chemistry that well is probably not a good idea either.
Yeah, this is true. The DJs were widely criticized, and some of the government officials even accused them of terrorism. I think that's a
Oh,
little far.
that's a little out there too. Come on now.
Yeah, that is a little far. I get it. I think a big apology would have been necessary. But I
Mm,
wonder what the people at the water plant were saying. Like, what do you mean dihydrogen monoxide?
that is water. Like, well,
But I wonder if they knew it was water.
ooh, you know,
All right. In 2013, two Florida DJs pulled the same prank. This resulted in the DJs being pulled off the air, and they were almost faced with felony charges. Yeah,
mm,
I guess if it played out in one city and then they tried it, and then okay, that's kind of
yeah, I
messed up.
mean, it's kind of funny, kind of not so funny.
Maybe the first time.
Right. I mean, you could have learned from others' mistakes. That is also a part of learning.
True. And Kat, as we like to do here on Info on the Go, we're gonna go around the world for April Fool's Day.
Yay. So in France, known as Poisson de Ville, April fish, French children often stick paper fish to their friends' backs. The victim of the prank is called Poisson de Ville when the prank is discovered.
Now that's an innocent little prank, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, I agree.
That is actually a pretty neat little thing there.
Little gag.
Yeah. So in the United Kingdom, in the UK, April Fool's pranks are typically played until noon. After that, anyone playing a prank is considered an April Fool. Common pranks include fake news stories and funny tricks, and we saw some of their funny news stories.
Absolutely.
Fake
And
news stories, my bad.
um, so in Italy, similar to France, Italians celebrate April fish by sticking paper fish to people's backs and shouting April fish in Italian when the prank is revealed.
So it's kind of the same as French there, huh?
Right.
Kind of the same. All right. Scotland. The Scots have extended version called Hunt the Gork Day, lasting 2 days. On April 1st, people send others on fool's errands, and April 2nd is Tally Day, where pranks involve people's backsides, like putting kick me signs on their backs. Um, you know, like go get I don't know, like the wall stretcher. Like when I used to work in like carpentry, hey, we would send the new guy out to go get the wall stretcher.
Right. Send your kids in to get some blinker fluid.
There you go. Hey, yeah.
I think that's a good one.
Make sure
Um,
you tell them you need the right side
oh, I saw
blinker
one
fluid.
a wife or significant other sent her uh man in to get the automatic baby changer or diaper changer, automatic diaper changer into like a Walmart.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
The
Hey,
reaction when he got back to the car was,
if anybody from BBC is listening, that would be a great fake news ad.
The automatic diaper changer. Oh, yes. But no, that video was funny. I thought that was hilarious.
We'll have to look
So
that up.
in Germany, Germans call April Fool's Day April shirts.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Pranks often involve elaborate jokes, fake announcements, and humorous tricks played on friends, family, and colleagues.
So it's about the same here as in the US.
Mm-hmm.
In Spain, April Fool's Day isn't celebrated on April 1st. Instead, they have,
Dia de los Santos Inocentes.
or Day of the Holy Innocents. On December 28th, where pranks and jokes are played on each other. So, okay, December 28th, 3 days after Christmas, let's knock it out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. I mean, you
And
need some, what is that? Comic relief after the stress of the holiday season.
sometimes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brazilians celebrate Dia da Mentira, Day of Lies, on April 1st, with pranks and jokes similar to those in other countries.
Sweden and Denmark, in these countries, media outlets often publish fake news stories to fool the public. People enjoy playing lighthearted pranks on friends and family. It's kind of the same here.
Right, right.
I wonder what
And
kind of news stories they have.
that is, you didn't include that.
I know I should have looked that up. Maybe for next April Fool's Day, I can do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In 2016, China decided that April Fool's Day wasn't a good fit for their culture and values. The government told people not to believe or spread jokes or rumors on April 1st.
This was part of a larger effort to control what people say on social media and stop any ideas that might go against the government's views. So, April Fool's Day pranks are not allowed in China.
That that sounds about right.
That is kind of sad too. But I did read that, some Chinese people still, participate, just not in
The grand scheme of things.
yes, absolutely. So, like localized.
Right. Common pranks include chocolate covered vegetables and saran wrapped toilet seats, with some pranks being national in scope and involving major corporations and news outlets.
And kids, if you try this at home, please make sure you don't tell your parents that William and Kat told you to do these, okay?
Yeah, we did not.
We're
Mm-mm.
not advocating.
No,
April Fool's Day, celebrated on April 1st, is a day when people play lighthearted pranks and jokes on each other. The goal is to have fun, create laughter without causing harm. That is a big part.
without
Without
causing
causing
harm.
harm. Yes.
Yes. These pranks can range from simple tricks like putting a rubber spider on someone's desk or more elaborate hoaxes. The key is to keep the pranks good natured and ensure that everyone involved can enjoy the humor.
Just
Know the
remember,
room,
yes,
understand your audience. That's a big thing here.
that is a great call out. Know your audience and know what, their level of,
Humor is. Some
yeah.
people have variations of humor. There's the dark humor folks, and then there's the people that just don't enjoy dark humor. Okay.
And I can probably go either way, right?
Same, same.
Just remember to be considerate and avoid any pranks that might upset or hurt others. It's all about spreading smiles and having a good time.
It's important to remember that pranks should always be harmless.
It is important to remember that pranks should always be harmless.
No, I can't remember any April Fool's Day pranks that I have played or been played upon.
The worst one and that I can remember that I was a victim of was years ago. I was at work and this guy shows up. He is in this pressed suit, has this briefcase, 20 some odd years ago. Anyway, he comes up to me and he's like, "Are you William?" And he called me by my whole name. I was like, "Yes." He goes, "I'm from the IRS, and I would really like the opportunity to sit down and talk to you about your last year's tax returns."
Oh no. When did you immediately start sweating?
I was like, I filed him with H&R Block.
You're gonna talk with them?
Oh, it was a friend of mine's dad that was coming back from a trial that he was a jury in, and they thought it would be fun to get me with that. Yeah.
Oh, that is funny.
No.
That is
Well,
hilarious.
it is hilarious, and we actually had a good laugh about it because I was like, I don't know what if I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
And I'm not saying that I haven't been a victim of April Fool's Day pranks. I just can't remember any of notoriety, really.
yeah, I mean, I have been victim to them, but that is the one that sticks out to my mind whenever somebody mentions April Fools. That is pretty much all I've got.
Yeah, me too.
If you would like to support this podcast,
Click the support link in the show notes.
William and I want to thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Join the Facebook group at Info on the Go
Share with us your show ideas.
or ask us a question.
Subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcast.
Send us a text using the link in the show notes or leave us a review.
Email us at,
Info on the Go podcast at gmail.com.
and yes, that is all one word. Till next time.
Stay curious.